Good morning, everybody. Another kind of crack of dawn day for me. Got up really early, and the boys wanted to go out, so I harnessed them up and took them out for a spin back up by the Gamble House where their video was shot. I love going out really early in the morning because there's just nobody. You see a couple of people out walking their dogs, and that's about it. But it's a nice quiet time, and everything's kind of calm, and I really always appreciate it. Always been a bad sleeper. I go to sleep really late and get up really early, but don't seem to require more than that, so I'm not going to argue with it. I've been that way since I was a kid. But we had a great day yesterday in the studio with Judith Owen. God, her writing is just amazing. I was going to post something. We got a video, but I want to make sure that we're back in the studio today, and I'm going to check with her as to if it's okay to post it, because I'm not sure at what point how the songs we did are in terms of how they're going to be released. If make sure they're all copyright protected. Let me turn that down just a little bit. There's all kinds of nuances that come into these things before you really should put anything out. You never do it without permission of the artist, that's for sure. You can get in a lot of trouble with that. But I'm going to have to get running pretty soon, and I was kind of going through songs like I do every night. Last night I was going through. I was going to do Africa today, but I'm just in too scattered big a hurry today, so I'm going to wait for another day this week when I can just kind of relax and get into it and play it. But one of the things for me that's just has always been cool, and it's one of the things, like I've mentioned before, that I pinch myself, is when I get to really work with really iconic artists. I mean, and I don't devalue, like when I work with a new artist, it's always exciting to me. I did a album a couple of years ago with a girl named Allison Porter. And Allison was just great. Matt Rawlings was producing it with Allison. Their writing is really good. And if anybody ever saw the movie Curly Sue, about this little girl with this big curly hair, that was Allison when she was a little kid. She was a really good child actress, but she has come into her own as an adult, and her singing's great, her writing's great, her presence is great. So if you can, check her out too. Like everybody went and checked out Rebecca Johnson, and just kind of wrote back to me and said, wow, man, Rebecca's so badass. It's just ridiculous. I love watching her videos. She plays so great. And how she can sing so independently of that, her bass parts, is just kind of staggering. But Allison's a new artist, but when I get to work with the old guard, there's something really special about it, with the Andy Williams and people like that. But one of the guys I got to work with a number of times, who I just loved working with him, was Ray Charles. And we did projects at his studio in LA down on Crenshaw. I remember one time we were going to have a meeting in his office, and we go in the office, and he turns the lights off. So it's pitch black in the office. So literally the only guy who can see in there is Ray, because he knows the room inside out, upside down, backwards, forwards. So yeah, he would sit there and he'd kind of I assume he'd be looking in my direction, and I'd be sitting in the pitch black and go, bass player, come on, bass player. Yeah, he was a funny cat, man. I loved his studio. And sadly to say, when he passed, there was a proposal of a project that was going to be recorded. There's another cat in town, if you haven't heard of him, check him out, named Ellis Hall. Ellis, he sang with Tower of Power. He is just ridiculous. He's one of those guys who plays great keyboards. Great keyboards, great guitar, great bass. I mean, anything this guy touches, he's amazing. And he's black and he's blind. So there was talk of doing an album with Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, and Ellis Hall, and calling the project Three Blind Mice. which would have been so cool if it had happened. But while discussions were going on, it's when Ray passed away. So needless to say, that got shelved and put away. But it would have been kind of a mind-boggling project. And Ellis really is really all a Stevie, man. He's got it down. So if you can, check out Ellis Hall. But one of the things I got called to do with Ray was he did Leon Russell's A Song for You. And the thing that was really cool, and we cut the thing, I think in 2017. No, longer ago than that, but in 2018, it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. And it must have been 93, because in 94, Ray won the Grammy for the best R&B male vocal for this track that we did. And Richard Perry produced it, and we cut it at Cherokee Studios, which no longer exist in Hollywood. It was the Robb Brothers Studios, and man, we did lots and lots of projects out of that place. It was a great studio, but as things happen, just things change and they disappear, and it's sad to say, but economics come in and development and all that kind of stuff. But Steve Gadd's playing drums on this. I don't know who did the orchestration on this, but I'm sure it's available on AllMusic or Discog or one of those sites. I didn't check it out, but I just wanted to play it. I'm going to just sit here and dig it, because it's not worth me playing along, because this really is about Ray and his interpretation of this, and this is what a best male R&B Grammy vocal sounds like. So it's Ray playing piano and stuff. So let's listen to it, and then we'll have a pop quiz afterwards. So check this out here. Ray Charles, A Song for You, written by Leon Russell. So good.
I've been so many places in my life and time. I sung a lot of songs, I've made some bad ones. I've acted out my life in stages with 10,000 people watching. But we're alone, and I'm just to sing this song for you. I know your image of me is what I hope to be. I treated you unkindly, girl, can't you see? There's no one more important to me. So darling, can't you please see through me? 'Cause we're alone now, I'm singing my song for you. You taught me precious secrets of the truth with holding nothing. You came out in front, and I was hiding. But now I'm so much more, so my words don't come together. Listen to the melody, 'cause my love's been dying. I
Ray. Oh, God.
And when my life is over, remember when we were together, we were alone and I was singing a song for you. We were alone and I was singing a song for you. We were alone and I was singing my song. Singing my song, singing my song, singing my song, singing my song.
Wow. Brother Ray, boy, could that man, he's just unbelievable. Just an amazing artist. And it's such a great song. Leon Russell's original version of it is great. Leon was so great. I loved going up to his house, to his studio and working. And Donny Hathaway, his version of this is like just ridiculous. I mean, Donny was one of the greatest singers ever. So I just wanted to pay tribute to Ray on this one. And I was so proud when this thing won the Grammy, and you know, just a life of music well spent. A difficult life for him, but man, what he brought to the table as an artist was just amazing. And boy, it was fun to work at his studio. I mean, his footprint and fingerprint was everywhere in this place. So, you know, it's really fascinating when I work with sight impaired artists. Turley Richards is another one who I worked with, who's great. Turley's a great singer. And just, you know, when you're in their space, they've got their space down, and not in a million years would you ever think the guy could not see where he's at, because he knows the space so well. And it's humbling when you're sitting with these guys. When I'm with Ellis Hall and Ellis starts playing and stuff, and you just go, crap, man, this guy, he may not have his sight, but boy, he was blessed with a ton of other stuff. So yeah, it's amazing. So I'm going to pack up my stuff and I'm going to head to the studio for another day with Judith Owen. And this stuff she's doing, it really sounds like we're doing, it's so theatrical. It's very Broadway in a unique way. But I love when she and I work as a duo. There'll be stuff added to these tracks. I'm sure she'll be getting a hold of Gabriella to do some cello, and Pedro's going to come in and do some percussion on it and stuff. But the bare bone essence of when Judith and I get to play together is really fun, because we breathe the same breaths. So I mean, there's never clicks or anything. Everything just has this organic thing that goes on. It's a real treat. Yeah, I love it so much. So I'm thrilled to be heading back and spend a day doing that, and then I'll pick something for tomorrow, and then Thursday I've got Denny Tedesco coming. I mean, we're venturing into a couple of contact things that being very cautious about. Like with Judith, we're still all wearing masks and in different rooms and stuff. We only gather in the control room to listen to playbacks. Other than that, and we're all in kind of different corners of things. But I've got Denny Tedesco coming over to my house on Thursday to do my interview for the Immediate Family documentary film that he's making. And Denny Tedesco's who made the Wrecking Crew movies. So this is going to be a really cool, unique film. And his concept of it is really good. So I'm gonna do my thing, and then he'll be interviewing each of the other guys, and then at some point when we feel really comfortable, then we're gonna put us all in a round table, a Goodfellas, you know. I make you laugh how? Like a clown? You know, we're gonna go back to Joe Pesci there. We're gonna do a round table and tell stories, and that's, to me, is going to be really the fun part, because every time we get together, everybody triggers ideas from each other, and when you're left on your own devices, you kind of like introvert, but when you're with a group of people that have shared a common experience, you extrovert. And so that's gonna be fun. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Denny. And there's a few things going on, but we're going to be real careful where he's bringing. He's only a sound guy and a camera guy in him, and bringing a thermometer and masks. And we're going to find a place where we can get some safe distance and still pull this off. So it's an interesting week, and I'm just going to wish you all the best. Have a really good week. I say it every day, and but it bears stating. Like down in Florida right now, they've been partying down there and having just a great old time, and the numbers are going way up there of cases and deaths. The virus isn't gone. It's digging its heels in for a long run. And don't listen to these people that are going, oh no, man, it's all cool now. Get out there, Don't worry about masks or anything. Don't wash up. That's a death wish at that, potentially. And you'd rather err on the side of caution. You should, at least, and not put yourself or your friends or family in jeopardy just to go out because you're frustrated and you want to go out and have a beer. Do whatever. They talk about opening up. They've opened up some sporting events, and there's a lot of people sitting in places, and you're just going, this is just so stupid. But let's just dig Ray, and thank you for everybody. I got some nice responses back from people that are working all the parks and things like that, because they're really working double duty trying to control things in the parks and keep people safe. But all the doctors, nurses, everybody. So take good care. I will see you tomorrow. And like I said, I've kind of thought maybe I'll jump into Toto. And when I do that, I'll tell the story about our trip from LA to Bodø, Norway, which was one of the most insane experiences I've ever had. It started off looking like it was going to be the easiest flight, and it turned into hell. So take good care, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.